Yo, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 Trials training video. We got a major changes for Trials that are happening this weekend. If you do not like this game mode, you have to get on the Bungie forums and tell them you don't like this. You got to get your friends to come on there and tell them you don't like this in the same forums. You need to add them on Twitter like every day and tell them you don't like Checkmate Trials. Whatever the reason, if you're one of those players that doesn't like this because you're finding less success now than you did before in Trials, you have to tell them this is not what the player base wants, right? So with that out of the way, let's talk about this. There's a lot to unpack, and I'm trying not to have a 30-minute video. I was recording a moment ago, and we had 30 minutes go by. Let me launch the match. So this is Checkmate Trials. So the first thing I got to say about Checkmate Trials is abilities are going to be on a very long cooldown. Supers as well. You have to earn your special ammo. Every primary final blow gets you a good chunk of special ammo. Every 3 primary final blows that you get gives you some special ammo. If you get assist with your primary on a final blow, right? If you get an assist on someone with your primary, you get a little bit of special ammo, like of the meter that fills up. You would see it in the bottom left corner of the screen, right? And it's only there if you're running a special ammo. Now, let me talk about the stats first, all right? The stats are important. So normally in Trials, I'm telling people, hey, you want 100 intellect. Right now, I'm not sure you want 100 intellect. Even on bubbles and wells, like I'm seeing people not get their supers at all, myself included. Like, I'll be pulling like a 1.6 to a 1.9 game. We'll go to round 9. We'll go 4-4, and nobody will have seen a super at all anywhere, right? So already right there, if you're not out there like 1.5, no, sorry, like a 2.0 or higher, you're not going to see your supers. I'm going to tell you the 4 times I've seen a super, it was 2 bubbles, a well, and a Nova Bomb in like the 40 games I played. 2 bubbles got it during the match, and they were both, one was on my team and one was against me. They were pulling, both of them were pulling 2.6 that game, right? In the scoreboard, like KDA or KD, it didn't matter. They were a 2.6 in the score screen. All right. They got their supers at round 9. All right. A well got their super after the game ended, and they were like I think they were right around a 2.0. They got their well, but we had already captured the zone and they lost. A Nova Bomb got his super round 9 after we captured the flag and he lost. So if you're not pulling a 2.0 going forward, I would say scrap the 100 intellect for now. Don't delete the armor, right? Regular Trials will be back next week, probably. Just shift it to recovery, shift it to discipline, shift it to something else, any ability that's going to be helping you out a lot. So let me talk about resilience for a moment. I've been telling people resilience don't matter in PvP. Right now, I'm still not seeing where my low resilience is making a difference. It's not affecting me. People with high resilience, Titans that are running 100 resilience, I'm 3-tapping them with my 120. The 120s are the only hand cannons that are going to be 3-tapping. Any, a 120 or lower. And I don't think a lower round per minute exists unless Criminal's Dagger, is still like 90 RPM. 120s are the only thing 3-tapping. Jade Rabbits don't 3-tap, right? None of that stuff is going to be 3-tapping, but 120s are still 3-tapping 100 resilience Titans. Everyone that I've gotten into a melee fight with, they have to triple melee me. I have to triple melee them. The resilience did not matter. So still, right now that I've noticed, resilience has not affected what I need to do at all. All right. Now, recovery is going to be good. I've had healing grenades. I've walked into a healing grenade and it healed me for nothing. I don't know if the healing grenade plays off of my own recovery. Like, I was running low recovery in my Hunter and I walked into a Warlock healing grenade and it looked like I didn't heal anything. Orbs of Light, though, if you can generate Orbs of Light, anyone on your team with the Reaper mods, and now I would say every class should be running Reaper mods because you're probably going to use your class ability at least one time and make an orb. Reaper mods or recovery with orbs are just going to be amazing. They heal the most, the fastest. Now, you're not going to see as many orbs because hunters are not going to be shade stepping as much and pooping them out, and then warlocks and titans are going to be putting their abilities out even less. So with that said, you want to be adjusting your builds for this weekend. Usually, you're not going to be running a lot of strength. There's no real builds out there where you're going to want to have your melee all the time. I can't think of a build on Warlocks where I want my melees often. I can't think of a build on my Titans where I want my melees often. And the only Hunter melee class that I want to have my high strength on is throwing knives, but I can just run the shade step by an enemy around the corner and get another throwing knife back, and I could just have 100 mobility instead. So, Hunters, you're going to want a lot of mobility. Titan and Warlocks, maybe not. You're definitely going to want, it's probably going to be discipline, probably going to recovery. Now, if you can have triple 100s, I would still say run 100 intellect, but be very vigilant. Again, you need to stay alive, and you have to get team shots. All right, now, with that said, let's talk about some of the weapons that I've seen this weekend before we talk about angles and other things about the map and the game mode. So a lot of the weapons that I've seen a lot of Wish Enders. I've used mine maybe once. It's just not really my style, and I haven't really used it. So Wish Enders, I've seen a lot of Wish Enders. I've seen plenty of La Monarchs, right? Bows are probably the most prevalent thing I've seen. I've seen a lot of 120s because 120s are the only thing that are 3-tapping in Trials. Rampage hand cannons are very good. I was able to 3-tap. I was able to 3-piece a team, and when I got to the third guy, I 2-tapped him for like 107 a hit. That was the most damage I had ever seen in Trials, and that I didn't have any damage buffs other than Rampage. Nothing else was like giving me more damage. So it was actually crazy to see that. But once I got that first pick with the final blow, my bullets were dealing more damage at people further away. So Rampage helps a big deal, right? If you have an old Rampage Igneous, break that bad boy out and dust it off. But your range is going to matter. I got this a long time ago. It comes with 83 range. It's really good in here. And I'll talk about some of the angles I've been taking and some of the angles you can take here in a moment. We'll jump into that next because that's probably the longest thing we need to talk about. I've seen some Devil's Ruins. I've seen some Fighting Lines. And then I've seen a couple of cryostasis users. So I would say between the bows, the Fighting Line, and the 2 sidearms, everyone else has pretty much been running just whatever, scouts, pulses, stuff like that. They're just running whatever works for them, right? And then a bunch of 120s. Snipers, if you like to snipe, you want the Revision 0. If I can find it in a timely fashion. Here it is, Revision 0. The way people are playing, they take some damage, they get in cover, and they heal. You'll be getting sniper bullets without getting final blows right here. Not a bad option. And if you can land the headshot, you're going to be at an advantage. It's something to consider if you're a sniper and you like to snipe and you don't want to wait on special ammo, right? This is one of those guns where I would say, you know what, if you're going to run a double primary, you're running at least a primary that's going to turn into a special, right? Just like the Devil's Ruin would. Now that I've talked about the weapons that I've seen a lot of people run, let's talk about the angles. So this is the spawn. Almost 10 minutes have gone by, so we're going to try to wrap this up in the next 12. So this is the spawn. You either have the inside of the map or the outside of the map. Let's talk about the inside of the map. It's very important that everyone takes up a lane and all angles are covered right now. Now, you can try and team shoot, so you're going to usually have 2 people on the inside that can cover most of the angles, right? You're going to have someone, maybe you'll have them up here and they can kind of look there, but they can't look there and there, right? You can have someone down here and they can look there or there. They can have both angles, right? And they can have decent cover, and then, they can look there if the enemy's called out to push. But you're going to want at least one person that's going to be covering like here and here. And it's probably going to be from that bottom left angle is going to be best. I do not recommend having someone outside to do this. Again, if the enemies decide to push through the right or one, and then there's a guy on the staircase, you can never push in. Like, you can, and you could take some primary ammo and get in here and probably not die. But now that you're weak and you've ran over here, they're going to push down this way, and this guy's going to be here, and you're going to be pinched, right? So positioning matters a lot. If the flag's inside or heavy's inside, do not fight from this doorway. pick an angle inside, because the enemies are all going to be on angles inside. And I would say that little gap is not enough for you to cover. It's going to be better to have all three in here, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So you're going to have, you know, one here, one person probably here covering these two angles. You're going to have someone down here covering up top, and then they can kind of keep their eye on the radar here. I would not peek this way, unless you're going to do it very cautiously, because someone could be head glitching here, and they could just kill you. And then one other guy could peek right here, and no one's really looking down to that bottom right? So, you know, it's very dangerous. And then you can have one person here. Now, you could have one person up here, but you could also have one person down low, right? They could be down here, right? If you have a person there, and, you know, they have the top covered, they have the stairwell covered, this person can be down here, and this is where they could challenge this area, right? They're closer. They can do it with an SMG, a sidearm, you know, a hand cannon, and then boom. I got shot a couple times. I'm like, hey, I'm weak. My teammates can be like, oh, okay. I can tell them how many people. Hey, 2 people on me. That means there's only one other person somewhere else. So people that are aware of their radar and reading their radar can be like, oh, okay, no one's right here. I can step forward and see if I can, you know, safely, and see if I can finish someone off, or make sure, you know, if anyone pushes my teammate, I'm going to be able to stop them, right? Warlock Boots of the Assembler is probably one of the best things you could do if you're one of these people that are going to be in a position. If I was watching this angle of the stairs, I'd probably put my rift like right about here, not completely against the wall, because you want the orbs to not get stuck on the wall when they go flying out looking for teammates to protect. Oh, it's only making one because there's only one of me. Okay. But yeah, you can be here and take cover, and then you can kind of peek out here, and then you can also, while still in your rift, you can peek out over here. Boots of the Assembler has been very good. If I was over here with Boots of the Assembler, I'd probably put my rift right about here, right? You know, it's going to allow me to maybe peek if I want to down here, but it's going to allow me to, you know, peek up there, or make sure no one's going to run across there. Again, you're going to want to be aware of your radar. Do not ADS too long. Let's talk about the other side. If we're coming from this side, right? The angles, I would recommend, again, you're going to want people in all of these lanes. Team shots are going to be looking real good. Teams that are very good at team shooting are going to be pushing the same angles and getting good team shots at you, right? So that third person, right? The third person, the one that's not here or here, should be looking for team shots with teammates. So if someone says, hey, they're challenging a lot from up top, that person should be like, okay, let me see if I can peek up top, or they can come down here and peek, right? That third person should be running back and forth, you know, trying to catch a team shot with your teammate. That should be the opening. Now, it allows you to have everyone in a decent position. Everyone's going to kind of be doing the same thing. You're going to get very comfortable doing it, your role, and you have one person kind of just going back and forth looking for those picks, right? And instead of just having people just play it by ear, nobody knowing what they're doing, and then enemies are just doing whatever they want. If you come in with a structured plan first, and then you can adjust it later, right? From here, I would say at least one person needs to take care of the top, right? Your job, if you come up these stairs, you've accepted the position. If you're on the stairs, you've accepted this position. You are in charge of the stairwell. You're in charge of down here, and you're in charge of up here, right? You got to be cautious. So round one, maybe if you know the flag goes inside and we spawn here, the first time we come to this area to fight because flag are heavy, I'll go here. Did someone jump up? Nope. All right, I'll never look there again right away, because chances are 2 people are down there, right? So I'm going to look there. I'm also going to look at my radar. If anyone pushing the staircase, if they push the staircase, I have to be ready. If I'm a hand cannon user, I'm probably backing up. I'm probably going to be here, hoping no one jumps up there, or no one shoots me from way back there, right? So you can also put yourself here, but you're in a corner. You're committing to the fight really, really hard, right? You can also put a grenade there, be like, you know what, just stay away. If you're challenging down here, right, you're going to be a lot of bows. Remember, a lot of bows. This is important. Let me throw this point in here. Only peek as far as you need to. A lot of bows are going to be looking for you, right? So if you can see the whole, like I can see from there to there, where all the enemies could be standing, right? 3 people could be standing, right? That means I've exposed myself to 3 bows. You want to only look as far as you need to until you see an enemy, right? You know, like And then, it's like, oh, shoot them once or twice. You shoot them a second time with a 120 or, get a good pulse burst on them. They're going to take cover. If they take cover to the left, a good solid grenade right there is going to force them either back to the right across your screen and you're going to shoot them and kill them, or they're going to push even more left and your people on the left are going to kill them. I would say 2 people are probably going to be playing down here. They're probably looking for the pick, right? They need to be careful and look here. You could have someone maybe at this console sit back. You can have both people kind of be forward, but you can't look this way for too long and then get shot from there. And then the guy at the top, he has to be, making sure you guys aren't going to get jumped up on from there. Most of the time, if I know for a fact no one's playing the stairwell, I'm ignoring the stairwell pretty hard, right? I'm aware of it, but I'm not. I don't really like walk over here to look down it because someone could jump up, right? A lot of times where I've challenged people from here to here, I never get the kill. They just, oh, time to take cover, right? So sometimes I will wander over there. 5 more minutes. Let's go over here. Let's talk about the outside. This is a no-no. You really don't want anyone back here. You probably don't want anyone way back here. And back here is fine, but I would recommend if you're going to take this lane, may as well just be right here, right? You can drop down into cover, boom, right? If you got weak and your teammates can cover you easier and you can cover your teammates easier from here. This is going to be where you're going to want 1 or 2 people playing here, probably. You're going to be in cover, right? You're going to be looking. Anyone could shoot you from the right side, but that's what his job. So if I was standing here, my job is going to be first here, right? A lot of times I've gotten kills with my grenades. 1, 2, right? And then I throw it there, and they have to move out of that area. Now, the grenade isn't perfect. If the grenade was really good, it would land exactly like right here, and they can't even do this and be like, oh, I'm safe. Nope, that's not an option. They have to leave. They also can't just be like up here, right? They're gonna have to leave. They're gonna have to move that spot. So they're probably going to try and jump across the gap to your left, and you're going to, that's where you're going to pick them off. You got to be careful. You can't over peek. I've peeked this lane many a times. I've seen people peek this lane many times, and there's just 2 people with bows, pulses, scouts. They're just waiting to just team shoot me, right? So be careful. And remember, you're probably fighting wish enders a lot. If you can have 2 people fight in the grass, you want to. They just have to be careful not to get ran up on. This is going to be a very important angle. This is probably one of the first places people are going to team shoot from here to be here. That's probably like the first place I would be looking for team shots. Enemies could push, from here to here. And if I was standing here, I may not be able to help you. So this little wall is just dangerous from this side. It's very effective, but it's dangerous. So you got to be careful. If you're running a Titan with Titan shields, you can put a barricade up here and, to your back, and now you can kind of challenge down here. But when your barricade runs out, you probably don't have another one, right? And we'll talk about some other exotics that I've heard that are pretty well. Let's talk about the other side real quick. We're coming to the 3-minute mark. I might have to go a little bit over 20 minutes. But again, there's a lot to unpack. I'm trying to give you guys a fighting chance this weekend. So you come from this side. I don't know why I ran all the way to the spawn. I would say someone should be down here, right? My 120 can challenge from here. If I have Rampage procced, I'm going to really deal a lot of damage to a guy back there. If the person that's back here is shooting from here, they're going to be slightly out of range. I'm probably not going to hit as many headshots. So I'm going to be seeing like 50s for my damage. If they step to here, I only need them to step out 3 feet. If they think they're like, oh, let me get aggressive, I am going to be, they're going to be in triple tap range. I'm going to triple tap them. So we're already right there. A 120 can be effective here. But you want someone here. Their job is to look back there. Their radar won't tell them if someone's there, so they got to kind of wait. Then they can kind of peek out here, right? And they're looking for people head glitching that are shooting from here to here. They also have to be cautious of the grass. Their blind spot is right here. Enemies could, while they're like dealing with this, an enemy could push like this. So people have to be aware. I would say 2 people over here. 1 person here with maybe a sidearm or SMG can kind of like peek the grass, shoot, get back into cover, wait. Someone back here, if you want 2 people back here, right? Whoever's at this angle, your job is, your primary focus is if anyone's playing the grass, you got to be careful of this area. The far left, someone should be saying, "Hey, I'm challenging far left." You shouldn't have to worry about it. Um, and then you're looking for head glitches, and you don't want to overexpose. You don't want to be like, "Where's the enemy?" and then die, bro. Like you have to peek from cover very safely. Uh, Let me talk about. Did I talk about the inside? Now I don't even remember. Let's talk about the inside. Um, I think I did, but real quickly, a person here is gonna be good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered this. You're gonna have people here. You're gonna have like one person here, and you're gonna have one person like running back and forth, looking to get the pick in the team shot. Right. Again, I wouldn't recommend jumping up here. Be careful. Now, I was told Aeon Swifts works for everyone for their class ability really well. You can run Aeon Swifts, and I don't have them on me, but when people die on your team, you're gonna get a chunk of your class ability back. My friend was telling me he was running Overshield Titans, and he's like, when a teammate dies, I get half of my shield back. Right, so he's just putting like 3 shields down in a round. That's crazy, right? If you get weak, you're gonna get a chunk of your shield energy back. So maybe if you're a Titan bubble and that's your play and you want a lot of barricades, you would run Aeon Swift, right? And you would run it to where when people die, you're going to get, and when you get weak, you're going to get class ability energy back. That could be very useful. When you get revived, you're going to get class ability energy back. That could be very, very useful in a primary meta. Boots of the Assembler have been really good. And then after that, it's just kind of whatever you can find that's going to be working very well for you. Some people have asked me, what do I think about lightning arc buddies where they the getaway artist? I don't know. I haven't used them. I don't know what the cooldown time is. If you can get your grenades back, right, run a high discipline with whatever grenade's going to charge the fastest. Maybe you could see like a getaway artist build, because that could help with your team shots. Anything where you're going to get extra damage for nothing is going to be very good. Let me briefly talk about weapons, guys, and we'll wrap this up. This is very important. I wish I could say, sayonara, you've seen what you need to see. Everything in this video was pretty much important. I recommend you do not run a double primary. You want to run a special. There's 2 reasons, right? A lot of people are going to run double primaries. So when you finally get special ammo, you're going to be in a big place of advantage, especially if you're running a fusion, right? You gain special ammo from primary kills and assists. You have to get the final blow to get the most. If you're not, you're going to see special ammo far later, right? But another reason I tell people right now, run a primary and a special. It doesn't matter which one. I would probably recommend a fusion if you were a shotgunner. Probably just run a fusion. You want to everyone's on the same playing field, right? So you're going to learn like here, like I normally won't take this with my hand cannon. I have a SMG on for that reason, so I would play here. You're going to learn the range of one weapon. Now you can say, well, I have 2 weapons and I can play at 2 different ranges. That is true, but if you discipline yourself now, because this is Trials Labs, and this is probably going to be the normal. Bungie's very obstinate and hard-headed, and they don't know what the player base really wants, bro. And the majority of players that play Trials, right, they don't want this game mode. So, like, the casual players are going to have a tougher time. They're going to get snowballed. Someone else is going to get special before them, and it's a wrap. It's over, and their abilities aren't going to save them because they're not there, right? So discipline yourself with one weapon, right? Get good with it. Now, you don't have to run just a hand cannon, but get good with it, right? So, and take up some of these angles I've talked about, right? And play that angle and try to lock it. Even if you're playing like solo and you don't have everyone like watching these angles, kind of get a feel for the lane that you're in, right? And get used to it. Today, right? Friday and today, get used to it. That way Sunday and Monday come around, you have a better chance of knowing what you do. Maybe you win a raffle or you play with some friends and you're going to be successful. But because everyone else is in the same boat where they have to get primary kills to get specials, or a lot of them are not going to run special weapons, you're going to discipline yourself with, okay, I'm only running one primary. Because I'm only running one primary, this is what I can do, this is where I can go, and this is where I can't go, and this is what I cannot look at, right? If I was running an SMG and I was inside and I wanted to take this area and be like, yo, I'm going to play down here, I would be looking here. I could, cover my top if someone told me above you, and then I could look at the staircase if someone felt like they wanted to try and catch a flank, right? I wouldn't be back here. Once again, don't stand out here when everything's happening inside. I wouldn't be out here shooting across here. and then we'll just run another, run another primary, an auto, or pulse. Like, that defeats the purpose of disciplining yourself, right? Now you're using a scapegoat to cover your weaknesses instead of building your weaknesses into strengths, right? You want to know where you can and cannot go, because that's going to be effective when you are running Destiny PvP with special ammo. You'll know where you can and cannot go when you're out of special, right? And it's a normal thing, and you have abilities, right? So that's it. That's all I really wanted to say about that. Shy away from the double primaries. Even if you were running Revision 0, I would still recommend, maybe a special weapon as well. That's it. I know, a long video, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you found a cheese? Oh, Shatter Dive is one-shotting, and crap. There was one other ability. What else is one-shotting? Ay, ay, ay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to pause the recording because I was thinking about heavy throwing knives. Those are the two abilities that are one-shotting people. I don't think Peregrine Greaves is one-shotting people right now, but those are the two abilities that are one-shotting people. Right, so watch for Shatter Dive. Shatter Dive is gonna, it's gonna be dangerous when you're around these corners. So be cautious, be vigilant, inspect the enemies, find out what grenades they're running. You want to know more than ever. Who cares about their KD? We want to know what they're running. We want to know their abilities. But that's it. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know in the comment section below if you found anything helpful from this video. If you have any advice or tips to share among others that, may be struggling or having a tough time. I am also learning this weekend, so I have to, improve my gameplay and shore up my skills, but I'm still being relatively successful in getting, to the lighthouse consistently, right? So with that said, I am out here. Hit the subscribe button and share the video if you enjoyed. Rambling, bro. 25 minutes. I'm sorry. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Peace out. I'll see you all next time.